Good morning, everyone. I am not very sure if everyone can see something on the screen and can hear me. Can you give me a one or a yes in the chat, please? Pranam. If you can hear me, can you give me a yes in the chat, please, or a one in the chat, please? Super. Thank you so much. Uh, well, I will try to increase my voice, but I'm speaking right into the microphone, so see the chat displayed. Wonderful. Thank you so much. We will start at 11, but I'll come back in some time and you will be able to ask me any question, whatever you want, between 10:45 and 11. Give me about 10 minutes, so I'll come back with everything set up and you can ask anything that you want. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the Timing Finance.
good morning once again. I hope you can hear me, and this is loud and clear. So, while we will start at 11 o'clock, let me, in the beginning, thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll try to answer a few questions before, and the subject matter will be very short. It will not be too long. It will just be about half an hour or 45 minutes, and then we will apply it on the chart. So we will have a lot of time for question and answers again. So if you have any questions, hold on. But let me ask a few, or let me try to answer a few more questions. One question here is it the right time to invest? Is the bull run started? It could have, but I still have my doubts because there is no visibility even in the next year that things would be normal. But then that is a call I would let you take. Are we in a multi-year bear market? See, honestly speaking, every one of us is trying to answer the question, are we in a bear market? Are we in a bull market? Okay, now even if you were to know that we are in a bear market and 10 years later or even 2 years later we will have a bottom, what will you do with that view? That view is of absolutely no use to you when you're looking and trading the market every day. There's a difference between a trader and an investor. If you are an investor, you would take a long term view and just not look at the markets every day. If you are an investor, you don't look at the market, what the market is doing for about 3 months. So even the rally from March to now doesn't make a difference to you. So do not mix both. My simple advice would always be look at the time frame that you want to pay attention to. There are people who will talk of a bear market, there are people who will talk of a bull market, but at the end of the day, if your view is for 2 years or 3 years down the line, how does it matter what the market is doing for the next 3 months or even the next 1 week or say 6 months? It just does not matter. So understand that more important. And if you are a trader, your most important point should be what the market is likely to do tomorrow. Simple. Or day after, or in the next 3 days. Can that be a more pragmatic and a more practical approach? I think so. Because while I also look at the markets, on what the markets are doing on a long term basis, if I want to say, let's say I want to trade Tata Motors, if I look at a 10-year view, I would say Tata Motors would do extremely well. But when I take my position today, think what happens. I am only looking at it for the next 3 days, 5 days, 1 week. That's a trading position. Investment would be a different view. For example, I gave a view on Cipla to go long at around 570 levels. From then on, we are not looking at what it is doing on a daily basis. The stop loss is 70-80 rupees away, and unless it hits that, we just not bothered. The long term view is it will go up, so you just buy and hold. So there are two different methods of approaching the markets. Now the next question is there a moon phase? What is the moon phase indicator on TradingView? There is no such indicator. You cannot have an indicator. It becomes very complex. I will explain to you when I show you the subject today. My doubt is support and resistance line should be drawn on closing basis or high. Well, conventional technical analysis talks about support and resistances. Truly speaking, we don't have any supports or any resistances. Yes, there are zones when the people come to buy and there are zones when people come to sell. But when it is time for the market to break, or go up, it will just not support any respect any support or any resistances. So just thinking of support and resistances would be a misnomer. Let me put a very different perspective here. If you look at the markets and the analysts today, almost everyone is looking at the 200-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, the candles, the dojis, the Bollinger Bands. They're looking at every method of analysis. If not you, somebody else is looking at it. And they are highlighting. With the advent of Twitter and with the advent of the social media, everyone is making their knowledge and their observations very widely known. So what is actually happening? When the majority of the people start believing in one effect, that effect will be very difficult to unfold, because that is the line of the most resistance. Let me put an example here, or let me illustrate it more easily. Uh, let's say everyone knew Reliance was going up. What did everyone do after once the result was out? Everyone bought. And what were they doing? Once the last buyer had bought, everyone was waiting for the price to go up so that they could sell. Now what happens? Since the last buyer has bought and everyone is just waiting, all the bulls have actually become sellers. So what did Reliance do? It posted a top on the day of the annual meeting, and then it started dropping down. So you got to understand what people will do and how this action of these people will result in the long term or in the immediate way. Let me put it again in a different perspective. We all say when interest rates are dropped, markets will rally up. So what actually happens if you observe the markets? On the day of the announcement, the last person who needs to buy or who wants to buy has already bought. And what is happening after that? Since the last person has bought, the market will immediately come down after the news is out. That is what we mean by buy the rumor and sell the news. Okay, let's go. I want to, is it possible to do intraday timing? Yes, it is possible. But intraday trading and intraday timing is like becoming Shakespeare. First, you need to understand the ABCs, then you need to understand the grammar, and only then can you go to intraday trading. Intraday trading is a fetish all over the world. Everyone wants to do intraday trading. But there is nothing more difficult than intraday trading. The best of intraday traders across the globe only do a 60-40 at the most. But if you are looking at a slightly larger term, you will get much better results than intraday trading. Applying cycles to use for intraday trading? Yes, it is possible. Dilip, thank you very much. You paid 40K for the Elite Wave course. Yes, I have charged more than $10,000 for the same Elite Wave course, which I have now put it free for everyone. Anyway, thank you very much. I am glad you are enjoying it. Step by step process to learn GAN. See, learning GAN is a education. It is not something which is not a technique that you can learn in one day. It takes a minimum of a year to 2 years to actually understand and learn GAN. Before you even attempt to learn GAN, you will need to learn a lot of other things. You will need to learn the astronomy part of it. Astronomy, as in which planet is moving, how many cycles in a year, or the number of days required for a cycle. You need to understand the cycles. Then you need to understand a little bit of music, which is the diatonic scale, because the planetary cycles are actually related to the diatonic scale, or the law of vibration, as GAN would call it. You can Google the diatonic scale, which was enumerated by Pythagoras, and you can look at the Pythagorean theory and then understand how the different planetary cycles break the larger planetary cycles according to the law of vibration. Only then you would be able to appreciate what GAN was saying. Then you will also need to learn a lot of trigonometry. You will also need to learn mathematics and geometry, and only then would you be able to actually crack the codes of GAN. So if you are able, the step-by-step process is first look at all the books that GAN had suggested you to learn, all the sciences that GAN wants you to learn, which is basically trigonometry, geometry, arithmetic, music, the periodic table, and astrology. And only after you understand all of them, Anirudh, can you actually start to learn and apply GAN. Ganesh Pillai, TCS 1500 plus 83 trading bars is 83. Don't make it a Ramban Ilaj. It does not work like that. There is a lot happening in the markets than just using the price to time squaring. Yes, price to time square works, but there are a lot of harmonics that are working. So you have to know a lot more before you start applying it in this very simple method of just taking the number of days and forecasting. If time permits, I will show today how to use the price to forecast the trend changes in future, and that will show you how to convert this price into even on an intraday chart or even on an hourly chart, so you can do a lot of short-term trading. Searchy, what is Kabutar pattern? Kabutar pattern is I am bored. So I was drawing something else. But yes, there is a theory called the Egg of Columbus, written by George Bayer. Now, many people try to learn GAN, and GAN was the most complex writer that I could think of. He put everything in code. But if you search on the internet for George Bayer, Bayer, George Bayer, he has written many books. He was a contemporary of GAN who used to use astrology, and he has written many books which are available freely on the net. You can read them. They will give you a much better way of applying the timing systems. Naman Goyal, how did you calculate that? Now that is $1 million secret, how I calculate the trend change dates. Kirit Shah, if not intraday, which is better, momentum or swing trading? See, there is no better or worse system. Whatever suits your temperament is better. You need to have a real guts and patience and ability to lose money if you want to do intraday trading. If you want to do momentum or swing trading, it will be a little easier, and you will not feel so frustrated or so emotionally stressed. I have received a lot of books, but have built my trading with discipline. However, I fail when I trade, not getting edge. Jitendra, I don't know. Probably you have not worked enough, because Truly speaking, I don't say any system does not work, every system works. It is only that we do not put the effort to understand every system. Show me a stochastic, even the stochastic oscillator, it will show you many trades. You just need to understand how it works, and you just need to study them a lot more. Then you will be able to even forecast what is going to happen. It is not that difficult. I would study a lot more before I start trading. Just buying books or buying software is not going to make you a better trader. Even if you take the simplest, easiest book on the trend lines and spend months with it, you will become a better trader than buying 1,000 books, advanced books, and going to advanced seminars and workshops. I, for one, have never gone to a seminar in the first 10 years of my trading. You are able to only do it better when you put effort in understanding the markets, how they do, by studying your theory much more. In your Elite Wave course, we know very well that 5 followed by 3, but how to know that the trend of stock has changed, and corrective, which is actually impulse example. I don't understand. That is beyond the scope of today's one. We just have 2 more minutes. Is it possible to do a session on decoding TTTA? No, I will not be doing it. Even no. Is this available? Video available? I guess so. Video will be available because the recording is being done by YouTube. I am here retweeted, not able to view. Please give a list of books or a link for them. List of books, all books by Gann, all books by George Bayer. And if you can catch hold of a book by Professor Weston. Professor Weston was much before W.D. Gann. Now, Professor Weston wrote a book called Forecasting the New York Stock Market. It's a very short book of 28 or 30 pages. Now, this was when Gann died, this was the only book which was kept locked in his safe. I pay a lot of attention to what Professor Weston has said. The book is available online, you can freely download it. And if anyone is interested in the pure astronomy part of it, you can pay attention, you can read the book. It's the copies available on the net are a little difficult to read, and the language is phenomenally complex. But I'm sure those who put in the effort will find the method to start applying to the markets, and it is not going to be easy. It is going to take you months and months before you even are able to crack what he's going to say. But yes, that is one of the first books you should be reading. This message is helpful. Okay, how many months does it take to master technical analysis? Mastering technical analysis, nobody has mastered technical analysis, because the ultimate master is the market. How to track smart money? Oh, that's a tough one. I won't be able to answer that here. When are you uploading videos on options? Whenever I feel the mood to. Right now there are a lot more things that I am involved with. I can't see you. Yes, I am still not online. Yes, okay. Time to start the one. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can see me. I am, well, it's been a nice lockdown and it has given me a nice time to study. I guess. I hope you can see me. Can you give me a 1 if you can see me and if you can see the screen? Oh, lovely. Okay. That's been a wonderful time. Thank you. All right. Now, to begin with, I have actually posted a video on the moon cycle in the timing markets on YouTube earlier, but a lot of confusion and a lot of doubts about how to apply. One of the most interesting things about the moon cycle is the moon is the nearest planet to us, or rather the nearest heavenly body to us. Let's not debate about the planet, but the moon seems to bring a lot of activity on earth, namely the interplay of the moon, sun and earth cause the seasons, the moon causes the tides, and the moon gives us light on at various levels reflecting the sunlight on in the nights. So the moon has very different action which it produces on us. We also hear about the lunatic. In the mental asylum, on the day of the full moon or on the night of the full moon, there is a lot of bad activity going on. Now, let us look at some interesting things about the moon. The moon is, fortunately for us as a trader, going around in almost a perfect circle around Earth. Its cycle is perfect. Unlike the other planetary bodies which move in an ellipse, and because they move in an elliptical orbit, they have varying time periods, but the moon moves in a perfect circle. So we are able to forecast and use the moon cycle much easier. Let's look at what is happening or how the moon works. The moon takes 27.3 days to go around the earth once. And in this 27.3 days, the earth has moved another 27 degrees ahead. So the moon takes another 2 days to move ahead, and then the sun, moon and earth come to the same line and we have a full moon. Now once we understand that this cycle is 29.53 days, we have nothing to do with the moon's orbit. We can forget the moon's orbit. We are just using that number of 29.53 to forecast what is happening in the market. While it is debatable whether the moon actually produces any trend change in the market, the simplest thing would be to say that the moon, as it moves in its phases, shows or times what is happening. So is there a cause and effect? I do not know, but there definitely is a correlation in terms of timing. Matlab, I would rather stick to English, it will be much easier. So what happens is, from one full moon to the next full moon is a full 29.53 days. It's a little less, a little more, but it is almost 29.3 to 29.6 days. So it really doesn't matter because we are actually using it to time days. Now let us look at the moon cycle. The moon cycle, which is 29.53 days, when you multiply it and take the 12 months, the moon cycle is actually the one which makes our month of 30 days. See, these concepts were made thousands and thousands of years back and we follow them today. Why do we have 12 months in a year? Because in one solar year of 365 days, the solar year of 365 days is nothing but the earth going around the sun once in 365 days. In the time the sun goes around the sun in 365 days, the moon goes around the earth 12 times. That is why you have 12 circles of the moon, or 12 moonets, or 12 full moons, or what we call months. Now half that cycle is what we call a fortnight. 1/4 the cycle, which is from a new moon to a half moon to a full moon to a half moon to a new moon, are 4 parts of the moon cycle. That is actually 1 week or 4 weeks. This is why there are 7 days in a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 30 days in a month, which, truly speaking, is the most absurd or most stupidest division of a year of 365 days. Even why do we have 365 days? The reason we have is only because the earth takes 365 days around the sun. So, some concepts which were made thousands and thousands and thousands of years back is used even today. It's not only used by us, it is also used by nature. Nature exhibits all its behavior in the same formation as the planetary divisions happen, which is why all planet can be used to time the markets. I will show you a few examples and you will be very surprised how it works. Excuse me. Now, the moon moves around the earth, and if you take the monthly cycles, we get 29.53. The second month is 59.06 days. The third one is 88.59 days. The fourth one is 118 days. But when we calculate months, it becomes 120 days. When we have 147.65 days, 175.18 days, 206.71 days, and so on, till we complete a full cycle or 12 cycles, which makes 12 lunar months, which is 354, and we start again. Now, when we take this, sometimes there are people who start talking about, excuse me, I'm sorry, there are some elements who will put in all kinds of wrong comments which hold me back from thinking in a flow. Please little bit Hindi too. थोड़ा मुश्किल है भाई साहब. पॉइंट इतना ही है, बहुत सिंपल है. मून जैसे सर्कल अपना ऑर्बिट में घूमता है तो हर 29.53 डेज में उसका एक साइकिल कंप्लीट होता है. तो 12 साइकिल कंप्लीट करने में 12 महीने होते हैं. 12 महीने जिसको नेचुरली 12 मंथ बोलते हैं. और इसके बाद इसके एडिशन में 354 के बाद ये कई बार आपने सुना होगा, many times you must have heard, today is a full moon, there will be a trend change, or today is a half moon, there will be, or today is a new moon, there will be a trend change. Many of our ancient people who used to trade the commodity markets used to observe the moon. If you go to North India, especially Rajasthan and those areas where activity in the commodity market is big, you can actually hear those people who use the ancient systems work. Ancient systems still look at the moon, but the moon, it will not change its trend every full moon, or it will not change its trend every new moon. There will come times in between where it will change its trend. Let us see how that is possible, or how we can forecast it. And then after we see the series of numbers, we will look at the we will look after we see the series numbers, then we will look at the charts, and these charts will actually prove that whether we are right or wrong. Now, once we get this set of numbers, you can note this down or the recording will be available later. We calculate a geometric mean or progression of these numbers. Now, do not ask me why we do this, because it's a complex theory why we get to do this, and because there is a cubical expression, markets are not perfectly two-dimensional object, but just use this calculation and that will help you trade the markets. What do we do to calculate the geometric progression of the moon cycle? Just take the Fibonacci series of numbers 1 to 144. I hope and I'm sure most of you know the Fibonacci series of numbers. So we take these original 12 numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 144 and so on. And once we come to these series of numbers, we take the square roots of these numbers. We take the square roots of these numbers. Many people use the Fibonacci series directly. Fibonacci series directly does not work. I have been repeating again and again on Twitter. The Fibonacci series is an expression in the markets. The expression has its cause somewhere else. If you use the expression to directly understand what the further expression will be, it will not work. You need to go back to the cause and multiply it with the cause to get the expression. Someday, hopefully, I don't know if I'm in the mood, I would do a Fibonacci series, Fibonacci applications for the market, where we don't use the 0.618 over whatever 1.618 as it is. The expression is very different. We will, if time permits, I will talk about it. But we take the Fibonacci's, the square roots of these Fibonacci series of numbers, and we come to 1.414, which is nothing but the square root of 2, the square root of 3, the square root of 5, the square root of 8, the square root of 13, the square root of 21, and so on, till we come to 144, which is 12. And this is where we stop, because there are 12 months in a year, and then the moon cycle starts again. Now, what do we do with this series of numbers? You can do this on an Excel sheet. I will show you how. Now, once you get to these series of numbers, what you do is you multiply these square roots with the original time cycle of 29.53. Then you get another series of numbers. Now you take this, the square roots, and multiply 1 into 29.53, 29.53, 1.414 into 29.3 is 41.76. 1.732 41.76, 1.732 51, 2.236 is 66 days. Now these 66 days or 135 days don't seem to have any connection with the moon cycle or any cycles at all. They appear to be totally random. I'll show you how they start working when we look at the charts. Now what do? Once we have this set of numbers, we get these days and then we mix both these days. Now 354 appears 2 times in the same cycle. This was the earlier cycle of 129.53 and double or 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 and so on. This 354 and 354 comes twice, so we take away that, and 29.53 is our original cycle. Then we merge both. Then we get 21 numbers in all for the full lunar year. Okay. Now having got this, we merge both of them and we finally get this 21 irrational disconnected numbers. It's as simple as that. You don't need any more complications and you will be able to forecast a lot of trend changes with this. Now, is this the only trend change that appears in the market? No, of course not. There will be several others, but it really doesn't matter. What we need the market to do is just use these numbers and trade on them. Would you want to trade the other days? Maybe, if you are inclined to. But if it produces a trend change on these days, it produces a significant trend change on this. Now, another thing is these are moon circles, and this would be called the calendar days. But when we go to the charts, I will show how these are not only calendar days, but these are also the trading bars or the trading days. Let's look at a few examples once we understand how and why these are. Once again, we have taken the original set of numbers, the moon cycles, the 12 months, and then we took the square root of the Fibonacci series up to 12. We took the square root and multiplied that by 29.53, and we got this 29 in disconnected numbers. Now, the beauty of the moon cycle is you can start anywhere from a significant low or a high. It's as simple as that. Let me show you on any given chart. I will, as everyone has a fetish here for the Nifty, let me pull up the Nifty chart and I will start showing it. Where is trading view? I need PowerPoint to go. I need camera to go. I need Excel to come in. Yes. Now you can use a simple method, a very simple method of calculating this using an Excel sheet. Convert the format to date, and you just need to input the date, and you will get all the dates that are likely trend change dates in the future. Now let me pull up a chart. We'll start with the Nifty, and we will pull up a chart and we will see. Where is, hang on. What I did, I used a simple Excel sheet to calculate the dates. I just input a date and you will get automatically the dates in the future where there will be trend changes. Now this is a very simple method of applying it. Will you share these sheets with us? No, sir. You can make this Excel sheet very easily yourself. Now let us actually look at a chart to see. Now here's the Nifty chart. I hope you're getting this. Yes. Now here's the Nifty chart. Now let me go back, and I will come back to the current one later. I'll pick up any arbitrary point and expand. Now on timing view, trading view, you have a measuring tool here which will tell you the number of days. Now 29.53 days from here brings you exactly to this top. I'm sure you can see the 21 bars, 29.29 days. So if you're just paying attention, on the 29th day there was a trend change. Now moving further, 29, then we have 41. This is the 41st day. Do you see the trend change here? Make chart white. Does everyone want chart white? I don't know how to make it. I never use a chart white. Appearance, background, white. And then you cannot see the bars. Okay. Let me see if I can do something to the bars. Candles, okay. Don't know if this is visible. Now someone will have a problem with this also. Now this is 41 days. The next one was 51 days. Now this missed. So mark the 51 and set it aside. I will come back to this later. Okay, and now we have 59 days. Now this is 59 days. You see the trend change here. Now this is 66 days, 66th day. You see the trend change here. Then you have 83 days. This did not happen, so mark this one. We earlier had 59 days, which was marked. Now you have this 58th bar, you have a trend change here. Now you move ahead and you 84th day did not produce a trend change, it will produce a trend change at the 84th bar. So if the market does not produce a trend change on the calendar day, it will produce a trend change on the bar. Very simple. Every time these numbers are hit from any significant trend change, either in calendar days or in trading days, there will be a trend change. It's a very simple statement and a very simple method which works each and every time. We only need to understand what the markets are going to do. But if there is any confusion, you don't need to trade. There are many different methods of different instruments trading in the market, so you can find something which is turning today. Now I will show you how post that. Now going further, take it off this top. You have 149 days, 148 days. 148 days is 147.65. So you see, just paying attention to what the market has been doing. And if you calculate from different highs and lows, we were calculating it from this high and coming to here. Now you can calculate it from this high and you will still get the same number of days, 59 days. So you see, from here it is the same number, from here it is a different number, and when all of them match, there will be a major trend change. You can take any beginning, any end, anywhere, provided it has to be a clear trend change. There is no reason I have to select this or this or this or this. All of them will work. That's the beauty of the moon cycle. All of them will work. Now I'll take this point here, 29 days. That is 30 days. You take 41, that is 41 days. You take 51, that is 51 days. You take 66, 62, that 66 is somewhere here. It missed. Okay, but then you take 83. 83 would be a little here. It missed. So we go ahead in 83 bars and we will see at the 82nd bar there is a trend change. So please understand one thing very important. When you start looking at the calendar day comes first. The calendar day comes first, and after the calendar day, you know very well if there is a trend change or not on the calendar day. You can go ahead and move. If there is no trend change, you can move to the number of bars or number of trading days, and there will be a trend change. It's very simple, which is why you will observe me saying many times there will be a trend change today, and there may be a trend change today. Pick up any script for that matter. Let us take anyone. Let's take Reliance for that matter. Everyone wants so many things to be done on Reliance. here. Here's the bottom. You can take the bottom. Here, there's 30 bars. That's exactly 1 month. It is in trading days, and this is the 29th day when it broke out of a sideways. Now, if there is no clarity, there is no reason to trade this. We will find many ones. Now this is also 51 days. This is 50 days. Then you have here you have 65 days. Our count is 66. Then you have 83 days. Here's the 83rd day, 81st day and 84th day. There was a weekend, so it shifted to 1 day earlier or 1 day later. Go all the way to the top. What do you have? You are coming close to the 118th day. You can take any. What if the date comes on a calendar on a holiday? It will be only a day anywhere ahead, 1 day before or 1 day later. So if it is on a Sunday, then it will be either the Friday or the Monday. Now take from here 29 days. Here is the trend change. 41 days. Here's the trend change. Now even within this, there is a lot of trend change. This is one of the most simplest methods. Take anyone for that matter. Here I have many. Let me take gold. Let's take a significant trend change. Here's 8 January, 29 days, posted a bottom. 41st day did not move. So we look at what happened on the 41st bar. This is what happened on the 42nd bar. If it does not produce a trend change on the calendar day, it will produce a trend change on the trading day. And since the trading day always comes after the calendar day, we are very confident on the day of the trend change. Now here's 51 bars. Here's a trend change. Now you can keep going as much as you want. You will keep getting. This is 84 bars. From here, 84 bars produces this trend change. This works only in a daily time frame. Do not try to use this in a hourly or a intraday basis. It just does not work. You have to understand that these cycles are produced by different planets. The intraday cycles are done by the movement of Earth around itself. That is the rotation of Earth around its own axis. So if you try to apply a moon cycle on Earth cycles or the Jupiter cycle, it will not work. So please stick just to these numbers, otherwise you will have a lot of problem. Now having done that, this is quite clear. Let me answer any questions that you would have so far. You can post your questions. Please do not ask me views about specific stocks. I cannot give you because of compliance reasons. Yes, please. Cipla. The moon cycle on Cipla will work. It has to work. Take anywhere significant trend change. Let me take a trend change here, for example. 29 days did not work. 19 bars, 20 bars, 28 bars, 29 bars was right in the middle, 29, 30, 31. So let us go 29 bars ahead. There's 29 bars ahead. Produce this trend change. Then we have 41 days was right in the middle of the cycle. 41 bars ahead. There you are. Here's the trend change, 41 bars ahead. You can use your RSIs, your moving averages, your stochastics, your MACDs or whatever to know where the direction will be. If it is going up and it has to turn down, you have a very simple trade. Okay? Any other ones you want me to see? Reliance, we have seen Titan. Oh, I keep doing a lot of these ones. Remote drawings. Okay, let's take the absolute top and then we will come back to Nifty. Now 29 days did not produce. It was just a day. Okay, 29 days. Yes, it is 29 days. There was a Saturday, Sunday. We can call this the trend change. Then post 29 you had, this is your 49 and 53, so this is your 51-day cycle. Then you had your 66-day cycle, 64 and then 67, so this is the 66-day cycle. This is the 83-day cycle. This is the 88-day cycle. From this is the 106 was here, so we can go ahead 106 bars and check. You got to do this effort all by yourself. 106 bars is coming up ahead in the future. So you can apply these numbers everywhere with just one point to note. If it misses the calendar days, it will produce a trend change on the trading days. Very simple. It will not work on weeklies, it will not work on dailies, it will not work on hourly, it will only work on a daily chart and nothing else. Bank Nifty also works. Everything works. For that matter, you can take any chart. That is what I say. You pick up any chart, it will work. Now, let me remove all my drawings. Take this. This did not work 29 days here. So go ahead 29 bars. There will be a trend change. Go ahead number of days. This is 42 days. Didn't appear, does not work. So we go ahead 40 to 40 bars, which is also 51 days. There is the trend change, major. Post it, we had your drop. From the top to the bottom, we had exactly 87 days. Sorry, 84 days. And from here, come to this one. And what do we have? From the bottom, $107 days. 107 days. You have our 107 days in our figure 106.47. So unless you will notice as you keep applying deeper and deeper into the, you will start making a lot of realizations. The next one is to understand the gap between two successive trend change dates. I hope you understand where the progression is going. We went from 29 from the moon cycle, multiples of the moon cycle. We calculated the harmonic progression, the geometric progression, and we combined both these numbers and got this series. Now a strange thing happens when you start counting the difference between these two trend change dates. Now what happens is these trend change dates are the moon cycles which is happening. Take these moon cycles and take these intervals, and when you observe that there between a swing high and a swing low is equal to the difference in the swings, you can immediately know where we stand and you can forecast a series of ups and downs in the future. I hope that is clear. Now this is an exercise for you. I will not be getting into it. Any other questions? I hope this is clear. Any other questions? I am willing to answer. Let's have the questions, please. The subject is simple, easy, and elementary in its application. Pavan Kumar, yes. If you apply from any significant top or a bottom, it is easier. But one of the things you will notice, if you start from the absolute major top or a bottom, it does not work so fluently. You just pick up any random date, it will work. Okay. Now the other thing is, if you want to see what will happen tomorrow, will there be a trend change tomorrow or no? That's a very different question. Will there be a trend change tomorrow? Now the beauty of the moon cycle is, it will not only work in the future, it will also work in the past. All astronomical cycles have a beautiful way of expression. They will work even in the past. Let's take this one. 29.53 days back, if it produces a trend change here, in most likely case it will produce a trend change in the future also. Let us take this. Now we have, this is 29 days. So you know, when you have looked back 29 days, if there is a trend change 29 days back, there is a great likelihood that there will be a trend change today. Instead of moving ahead, we are just comparing it what happened 29 days back to understand what will happen today. It's very simple, elementary. And for a confirmation, you can go back from 29 to 41. If there is a trend change 41 days back, oh yes. And even 51 days back, oh yes. Then you have 66 days back, is there? No, there is none. So we go back 66 calendar days and you see there is a trend change. So we expect a trend change here again. So it is very simple. You don't need to ask anyone, will there be a trend change today? It's as simple as that. Apply to your own charts and you will see magic. Let's get one more question. In YouTube video, you had forecasted Nifty low in November 22. I think you can go and see that video rather than have so many people watching me go over that again. Falling to 800 odd levels. For that, I think you should look at the Elliott Wave videos. Don't ask me individual scripts. I will not be able to talk about the individual scripts. Amit Radhakar, I suggest you look at this video when the recording is released. It is not the new moon or the full moon. That is the whole problem. There you cannot assume anything is a full topping day or a bottom day, because don't expect the moon cycle to coincide with what you are expecting. You need to follow what the moon is doing and calculate each and every time. Also, GAN square of 9 is perfect work. Yes, it is perfect work provided you know. Now, I would rather you ask me questions about the moon cycle, because that is the... Please keep your questions to the moon cycle. I am more or less done with what is being shown with the moon cycle. If you do not learn how to apply the moon cycle, applying the other cycles would be very difficult. Any more? No, I guess the questions are which stock, what, intraday. I am not willing to get into the intraday one, because I do teach the same subjects to the students in the US and it would be unfair to teach them there. I guess we are more or less done with this. I was expecting a lot of questions. Can we consider half the moon cycle? Maybe. Try it and see if it works for you. This recording will be shown on YouTube, yes, after a little bit of editing. How to identify? Okay, all right, all right. Thank you so much. I hope you will understand and enjoy this. The recording will be available for you to watch to see the moon cycles. And I am very confident that those who put in the effort to actually apply it and remember to apply it every day, because just learning it doesn't make any sense. Remembering to apply it every day and forecasting would only make the difference. Thank you so much, and may your trading never be the same again.